Scorpios, welcome back. Family, this is what are people realizing about you, okay? What are people realizing about our collective? What are people realizing about our Scorpio collective? Hmm. Let's see. Most High, what are people realizing about our Scorpio collective? Ooh, when I see signs here, whew, people are realizing that you give a lot of signs or you give a lot of little nuggets about who you are. I feel like you are very mysterious. You are very captivating. You are someone where people really not sure how to grasp you. And soon as they feel like they know you, it's like you do something that shows them that maybe I don't know the collective like I thought they did. All right. People are realizing that throughout a season or a cycle when they were with you, you gave them more information than they knew you did. They only understood or realized, remembered the information that you gave them until after your presence was no longer available. People realize that you tell individuals more about you within a short time that you may be around them, but they realize that they did not hear or understand. It's like you speak in code, all right? Meaning that you could be around somebody and it's like they can do some shit either to someone else or whatever in front of you, and you will tell them little shit, like you give people nuggets, like say for instance, like you're around somebody, right, and let's say like they keep talking about somebody else and you'll be like, yeah, man, leave that shit alone, man, don't worry about it, man, you could be focusing on other shit, like to be honest, man, I don't even that's some energy you need to be using elsewhere. That's a nugget. Boom. People will be like, you just trying to talk, but you telling them, hey, look, why you talking about this person? That's some shit I don't fuck with. I'm telling you where to guide that negative energy where it empowers you and not focus on someone else. Or you could be around somebody where it's like you could like usually like when you're around like you could be around a group of people and they feel like to get closer to you is to talk about somebody else, and you'll be like, man, you like they'll be talking about what somebody got on. You be like, man, shoot, they wearing that shit. You feel me? That's probably how they felt. You feel me? That's a nugget, like some people will hear it and they'll be like, oh, you just trying to know. I'm telling you, look, wasting your energy on talking about people ain't something that I'm into, because at the end of the day, when you realize how dope I am, you gonna be talking about me. Like you be giving people little shit. Or even when you just come out and be blatantly honest, like, you know what, that's some shit like that ain't no real shit, like what you need to be focused on. Like I feel like you tell people things to redirect their energy. But even though you're teaching them, you're telling them this, that shit I don't fuck with. And I feel like when people don't grasp those hints, those, you know what I'm saying, how you really move and think. And when you do remove yourself from their energy, it's kind of like people go back and rethink, because first of all, they realize you took them to a depth that they were not used to. A lot of people used to swimming in the kiddie pool. You a deep diver. You like, shit, I'm jumping in the pool where it's 15 feet, 20. Matter of fact, let's just go in the ocean. You feel me? And then the way you think really awakens people. Some people don't even be able to catch it because they can't breathe in the depths. But then when you move around and then like, and then people start relashing because sometimes the last time people see you was the last time people see you. And it's like you ain't somebody that's about to argue. Not it's like I'm not gonna keep talking to you about certain things and you're not grasping it. People realizing that you gave more information than they understood at the time. They don't realize it until you're no longer within their energy. And then as they rethink things with you, because everything becomes very vivid, very open, very known. And they think about all the things you said when they said negative shit, how you cut it down. They like, damn, they didn't like that. Damn, they didn't like that. I kept doing this shit. And it's kind of like when you realize you talking to a wall, what you do? Stop talking. And I feel like right now people realize that you were teaching them even though they didn't even know they were being taught. And sometimes they didn't get the lesson until they no longer had your presence. Spirit, what are people realizing about sports? See, pretending. People realize that you are not a pretender. People realize that you saw the fake in them. You still dealt with people that was fake in hopes that they will awaken to their authentic energy. One reason why you always been authentic. I feel like when people found themselves trying to impress individuals, you send out them little nuggets like, man, people don't even like they self, be you. Or when somebody like they'll try to showboat or try to do the most, you'll be like, bro, you ain't gotta even do all that. And I feel like people realize that you saw the fake in them the whole time. You know how people do some fucked up shit or they just be very flawed or inauthentic. And it's like, because they so used to people just going with the flow. I feel like you gave them these little nuggets like, bro, that ain't you. Come on now. You ain't got a lot to kick it. And I feel like when you showed them your real self, where they feel like they had to do that, you did the opposite just to show you will get that same attention, but more, but it's going to be beneficial. And people didn't realize it. And a lot of people don't realize you until after you ain't in their energy. And people, and I feel like after you move around, people realize, damn, they knew I was living beyond my means. They knew I didn't have it. They knew I was trying to impress somebody. They knew that wasn't my energy. People realize you see them. They realize you seen their true self, you still fuck with them. But when they refuse to see the truth within themselves, that's when you had to deal because it's like you're not ready to awaken into your authentic self. And one thing I feel like is when people realize you are the light that you have to show them when they didn't want to see, then that's when you go be the light to somebody who want to see. People realize you knew more about them than they wanted to. And when some people did realize it, this is when they start feeling a little uneasy because you could see their secrets. You could see the things they tried to hide, but it was clear as day to you. People realized you were genuine. They realize you fuck with them because you wanted to fuck with them, not because of the illusions, because you saw through the illusions. They realize you were trying to show them that you don't have to be something else, be yourself, because I see you for who you are, not for what you're trying to put on. Why? Because I give you the nuggets, sometimes even blatantly tell you the truth. But because you're so blinded by the illusions that you have put on yourself, some people believe their own lies. And I feel like people realize that you knew them the whole time. And this triggers those who I feel like who messed over on you, who tried to deceive you. And when you leave, they realize they was only deceiving themselves because you seen them from the beginning. Ooh, man. People realize that you saw them from the beginning. You got people who tried to do certain things to you and they wondering why you were always 3 steps ahead of them. They was wondering why everything they tried to plan or plot on you or the energy they tried to take from you never came into fruition because after you left, they started thinking about the time. They thinking about the nuggets you spilled. They thinking about the times you called them out on their pretending, but they didn't want to acknowledge it because it's like having to realize that you are not real. And then when you move around, people realize you saw them the whole time. The very people, individual they tried to conquer, overcome. It's like this motherfucker knew the game plan. People start to realize you were their wish fulfillment and now they're yearning to be back in your presence. I feel like people want to be around you now because they want to learn. They want to learn how you do what you do, how you know what you know. And they realize you knew before you left, which makes them question their ability to see, which makes them question, this person knew this from the get-go. I was still doing fucked up shit, but they still fuck with me, still giving me positive insight, still uplifting me, knowing I was trying to do wrong by them because they was in hopes that I would see what they see in me. A lot of people realize that you were really their gift. And you were a gift that was testing them. And they failed. And they have to realize that what they thought they knew, who they thought they were, they didn't know shit. And this is hard for a person that always think they know what they know. That's crazy. Spirit. Some people realizing now about you that you are the one that if people don't get the signs that you sending them, you're gonna be gone. You're gonna discard them. Why? Because they're not willing to learn, and they're no longer a part of your mission. They have chosen because you have given the information. And one thing we learned as wise, evolved Scorpios is that I'm not going to keep giving you information and you ain't trying to take it. It devalues the wisdom in which I'm trying to give you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move on and I'm going to give it to the person that want it. People realizing about you that you are not about to play about your energy, your wisdom, anything. Some people realizing that you ain't never going to allow them back into your life too. They realized they did not get on key. They did not get with the program. People realize that you see them for what they shown you to be. An individual being that is not ready to evolve. And they realize you are not, no matter how much love, passion, patience you've had with them, you are not willing to stay stagnant for a soul that ain't willing to grow. People realize that trying to get revenge on you for moving away from these pretenders ain't gonna help either, because everyone that tried to come and harm you because they didn't get the message and you pulled back, they felt triggered because you could see them. They realize retaliating on you ain't nothing but bringing them to their more demise, which is making them more in this fake ass energy. People realize that you was never pretending. You have always been who you said you were. Even to the point where you tell the motherfucker, look, I ain't gonna fuck with you. And some of y'all told people that. If you don't evolve, I ain't gonna fuck with you. They felt it was bullshit because even after they said, I love you, but if you don't get certain shit, I can't fuck with you. It ain't personal, but then again, for me, it's personal. And when you moved around, they wanted to get back because they felt some type of way. It ain't that you ever been ill or nothing. You just told somebody your boundaries. And they didn't want to respect it because they so used to people to stumping on people's boundaries or people not meaning what they said. But you meant what you say. Why? Because you ain't a pretender. I'm about what I say. And when they did try to retaliate over you just evolving, they received karma they wish they hadn't. I feel like right now, people realize when it's dealing with you, it's amount of time. They only have a certain amount of time with you, a certain amount of time to show you that they worthy of your time and your energy, because your presence is a present and everybody don't deserve it. They were hoping you didn't know your worth. They realize you do. And now that they don't have access to you, they're going back into their files when they did, and they're realizing all the information you gave them. And now that they got it, they want more, but it's the deadline. Time is up. People realize with you, They only have a short amount of time to prove that they are worthy of your energy. And when they fail to prove that, they're not going to get another chance. That's the message. I love you, Scorps.